Happy Friday, my dude.
What it do, brother man?
Nothing much, again, it's another Friday, so I think we all know what that means. In all honesty, um,
It's Falcon Fridays, right?
Falcon Friday, and also Invincible too. But we're not talking about Invincible. That's
Not
later
yet, not
down the
yet.
line. But it was really good though. But also I think this may be my favorite Falcon episode so far. I'm really I was digging it. I was really into it this time. Like more so, I feel like since episode 2, like where they had the Isaiah Bradley reveal and stuff. This one was just like I don't know. It just hit hard. You know what I mean? It felt like a little bit different compared to the other ones, like a little more on the serious and dark side. You know what I mean?
Yeah, this episode was pretty incredible.
Mm-hmm.
Like it really went there. Like it really, really went there this episode. And this was the one I was waiting for. I was telling you like this whole time where it's like there's just something missing. There's just something missing. And for this one, I can't think of anything that was missing. They really did a good job of expanding upon the things that we did like
Mm-hmm.
and also expanding on the things that we had issues with, at least for me. I'll speak for
Yeah.
myself.
No, they definitely. I mean, it's still a little confusing with the flag smashers, but they cleared it up. Also, everybody, you're listening to the Bodacious Rant with Bern and Ryan. Sorry, we didn't introduce ourselves. We just get so excited.
Is that what we're doing? I forgot. Who are you? Who are you?
you you cheeky bastard. But anyways, yeah. So we're talking about Falcon Winter Soldier, episode 4. Spoilers all the way through. So
Spoilers
yeah,
galore.
exactly. Just keep listening in or come on back. But I say let's just jump into it, Bern. Should we give our rating first, or do we want to save that for the end?
Yeah. Go ahead. Let's just throw in your rating there, brother.
I'm gonna give this one a 4.5 out of 5. I mean, I kind of hate doing the halves just because it's like it's either you gotta have some sort of solidarity, I guess, or just some sort of seriousness to it. But no, 4.5 just because it was so far almost the best episode of the season. So I really liked it. The action was great. I didn't realize Derek Kolstad wrote this, who also wrote John Wick.
He also wrote last week's episode too.
Okay, cool. Yeah, that would explain why the action's like just keeps getting better. And then yeah, like you said, you couldn't put it any better. The expansion on the characters, especially Walker, Falcon, Zemo, like everybody's just kind of getting the spotlight a little bit. And I can't be any more excited for the last couple episodes. But what about you, Bern? What would you give this?
Yeah. So for me, I would have to give this one a 5 out of 5. This not. I wouldn't. So for me, like, let me just put this like straight up. 5 out of 5s or
Go ahead.
Are not perfect.
No.
I don't think there's anything that's ever perfect. It's just, did this episode, for me at least, did it do what it wanted to do? Did it succeed in what it was trying to do? And I think for me, this episode very much so did. Like I said, like I was saying before, it really expanded on the things that we did like, and expanded on the things that we had issues with, or at least like I had issues with, where I was like, okay, there needs to be a little bit more context for the flag smashers. I need to spend more time with them. I need to know what their motivations are, and I got more of that in this episode.
Mm-hmm.
And again, just the stuff with Bucky and Cat and the new Cap and Falcon. It's like their storyline is so interesting, and the where this episode ends off is just it's a change. It is such a change from what we've seen before. It's like I said, this show is really going there now, and it's like I have to tip my hat off to Marvel and their team for going there.
Absolutely. Yeah, it was the writing is definitely getting better. Like this is the kind of writing I expected from day one. Not that it's like been bad at all, but it's like now we're finally getting a little bit more answers, a little bit more insight on everything. Like it's all starting to make sense essentially. But
yeah, it's like I'm glad that it's happened. Better late than never. I'm glad it's 4 episodes down the line, and it should have really been done, from episode 1. But I'll take it. I'll take it now.
Yeah, I mean, it is what it is. I mean, maybe I'm fine with it just because we didn't have all the answers in the Scarlet WandaVision. So I don't mind piecing it together. I think they just could have wrote it better, to be honest. But Anyways, let's hop into spoilers, Burn. So, what do you say?
Shield smash!
You son of a bitch. Anyways, we totally forgot to give a shout out to the Dora Milaje at the
We
very end.
did.
Oyo. And what I love about Marvel is that they've kept the same actress from Civil War about 5 years ago,
Yeah.
playing the same character from Black Panther, well, Civil War, Black Panther, Infinity War. I think she was also in Endgame. I'm sure she was, but and
She
now we
she
see her
probably she
again.
probably was there like at the end battle at some point. There was so much going on in that end battle. It was hard to tell with tears in my eyes.
Yeah, I want to say she's like, Okoye is like second hand woman, essentially, like her right hand woman
Mhm.
on the Dora Milaje, just
Yeah,
she
that's
was
kind of the vibe
escorting
I got.
because she was escorting, T'Challa all like in Germany and then Infinity War and stuff. Either way, so that was really cool to see her, and we're understanding it's like, the Wakandans, man, they have it out for you. Like you fuck them up, they will get you. I mean, we kind of saw that in Black Panther with Ulysses Claw, played by Andy Serkis, but it's
Hmm.
like I didn't think Zemo would come back for him, but it's like kind of cool just because she's like he killed King. Oh my god, I can't talk. He
T'Chaka.
killed King T'Chaka. Like he's
Hmm.
gonna pay for that. And Bucky's kind of like, well, he's a means to our end. We need him. I thought that was a really cool scene where she's like, "You're the White Wolf, so live up to it. Like, remember who helped you." Essentially, that was the vibe I was
Yeah.
getting that conversation. And when he
Hmm.
gave her the Okoye beads, it was just like, all right, like shit. Now we got this problem to deal with.
Yeah.
Um,
And then getting that scene with him in Wakanda where, he's going through his rehab. Such a powerful moment and such great acting by Sebastian Stan, just where she's going through the list of commands, and you can tell like he's tearing up because he's afraid that it's gonna happen again. And when
I
it
mean, it
doesn't,
kind
there's just
of,
that moment of relief, and it's just so
yeah,
beautiful.
it kind of was giving him flashbacks. Like it was just kind of reliving that trauma, but it wasn't turning him into it. It was just that he's just thinking about it. And yeah, he was scared out of his mind. But when she repeated it, she's like you're good now.
Yeah,
And
like you're
that's
free.
he did a fantastic job of emulating just that that feeling of just relief. Like, oh my God, like I really am good now. I don't have to worry about that anymore.
Hmm.
So like I kind of got like a potential like lover vibe, but most likely it was just like a mentor mentee kind of thing, or like a therapist thing where it's like she trained him to get out of it. So it's like she's also that's how she was talking to him, like you owe me, like remember who helped you. So
Hmm.
I thought that was cool. And then again, Zemo, man, he steals the show every time he's in a scene. Like he's just got such like Daniel Brühl just has that aura almost where it's like, dude, this guy means business. And then like Falcon and Winter Soldier just kind of along his ride at this point. Um,
Yeah.
I feel like we got more of like his villain side coming out too with the ulterior motives, like when they're going to look for Carly after she bombed that GRC building,
Hmm.
and he tells the little girls giving him Turkish delight, like, don't tell those guys anything, like they're bad guys. You and me, we got this. Like we're
Yeah.
keep it between you and me. I just that scene was actually really creepy when they're going through that building because like how Falcon's just kind of going upstairs trying to talk to people, like not interrogating, just hey, Mama Danya, anybody know? And everybody's just slowly slipping out the building. Like
Yeah.
I was kind of expecting something bad to happen, to be honest. Just when you see shit like that, it's like
Yeah, when people
gunshots or
start clearing out
something.
rooms, they're like, okay, something's gonna happen now. But I'm surprised that it didn't.
No, and that teacher was a kind of a nice insight on like how it's almost like a commentary on how like America when it's like gone to the Middle East or something, even though we're trying to help the civilians or trying to help in some form or another, um, that the teacher's like, yeah, well, we still don't trust you. We know who you are, but we just don't like so kind of keep your distance essentially.
Yeah.
And it's funny because Anthony Mackie is also kind of like an outsider in this show too, a little bit. Like, yeah, he's been fighting for the military, but dealing with the stuff at home and then being like one of the non-super soldier groups, so like heroes in the show. I'm
Hmm.
sure it's just like constantly like being left out, and it's just good writing. That's like where the writing really kicks in. Like he just does such a great job portraying that.
Yeah. And like Sam, this like up until this point is really showing like not what's been really surprising is that we have had action scenes,
Mhm.
with him and stuff, but the moments where he's really getting the shine here is where he's trying to do what he does in this episode, and that's like show compassion. And
Mhm.
that's such an interesting take on his character, but because we forget that he was introduced in the Winter Soldier as the leader of a help group. Like he was
Yeah.
running, he was doing like a veterans help group, and it's like, so that's in his nature. It's always been there. It's just something that hasn't been really explored in the movies, either because he hasn't been the main focus of him. Obviously, he's been a side character. So that's why I'm glad here we're getting to see that side of him, where he does have that inner urge to just want to help people, wanting to connect on a personal level. And I'm glad we're getting to see more of that in the show.
Well, I think that's why him and Cap bonded so well, because like looking back at Winter Soldier, he is the one who kind of helped Steve with his trauma a little bit. Just how when they're on the run together, and even though he just kept beating him on the run, when they were talking, it's like it's your bed, right? Like you can't sleep. Like he kind of was calling out Steve, like, yeah, you're not perfect either. Like none of us are.
Yeah.
And that's kind of how they bonded. And when he gave him the Trouble Man recommendation,
Hmm.
and he's always been like very much like Hoskins for Walker. That's how Sam was to Steve. Like just kind of as like voice of reason, like his voice of like grounding him, like, okay, I know you're trying to do this, but let's think about it this way. Like there's
Hmm.
always another way around it. And I really loved him in this episode. Like Harley is definitely the villain of the show, no doubt.
Yeah. Yeah.
After what
Like,
happened last time,
as good as her intentions are, like Sam says, I can get behind your motivation, but I can't really sign off on how you're executing it. It's like you're stepping too far.
yeah, because I mean, after Zemo kind of says, "Listen, I need to keep my leverage," and I just forgot what else. But when we fast forward to like when he's like, "Listen, I'll go in. Let me talk to her because I've helped soldiers before." And like Walker and Hoskins caught up to him in Germany, and they're just like, "No, like we need to apprehend her now." Basically, he's thinking of a good soldier, and it's really been making me think. Like last episode, how we talked about the doctor Abraham Erskine, I believe, from
Yeah,
the Captain
Erskine.
America
Yeah.
Erskine, yeah, and how he said we don't need a good soldier, we need a good man to be, or like
Hmm.
don't be a perfect soldier, be a perfect man, like be a good man. And that quote has never hit harder this whole show until this one, just because
Hmm.
we're seeing Walker go down a much darker path. We're finally seeing him become a villain more so than the last few, and it was pretty chilling what he does. I'm not gonna lie. Um, like he's just feeling, and I could relate to him. Like he's trying to fill. He says he's not trying to fill shoes, but clearly he is. He is trying to
Yeah.
be a Captain America, and it's not going anywhere for him. Like he's still losing, and still just kind of failing here and there. But
Yeah, like at almost every turn, there's been opposition for him, and that's just something that he doesn't seem well equipped to handle. The mantle in and of itself is a heavy one to bear, and then when you have people, pushing back against you constantly on that, it's gonna weigh on you. Like you
yeah,
as a human being, like eventually you're gonna crack at some point, and we've been seeing that slowly in these last few episodes. And it really comes to a boiling point in here, and we've seen it. Now he's just at the point where he's like, I need to execute this mission. Like
mm-hmm.
that's what it is to him. This isn't like the way Sam's approaching it as like a personal thing. This is just a bullet point. This is just crossing this off the list. To make it seem like I can get the job done. And that's where he's really starting to lose grip, and it's been very interesting to see that.
Well, especially after their whole intel session when Walker and Hoskins try to get Zemo right then and there, and then Oil and the other Dora Milaje come in, which was such a great fight scene between all of them.
Yes, that was
Just
so cool.
I love Bucky's line where he's just saying, "You may want to mess with the Zemo before you mess with the Dora Milaje," and Walker's just kind of on his high horse, like, "All right, what are these ladies gonna do? Like, put down your
Uh,
pointy things." It's like, first off, it's a spirit douchebag, and they just
it's a
fuck,
vibranium spear.
yeah, and they fuck him up. him, like Hoskins gets his ass beat. Zemo just kind of slips out all quietly
Uh,
like a douchebag.
I liked how
Um,
Sam was like, hey, Bucky, should we do something? He's like, come on, Walker. You know, he's trying to, he's like, he's making fun of like, come on, get up, buddy. Keep doing it. Like trying to give like boxing ring, like coaching tips. Like,
oh, that was
I thought that
so
was so
messed
funny.
up. They're
I was
just
like, man, it's like Bucky, he does not like Walker. He doesn't hide it.
no, Walker's a total idiot. Like he messed up the first time. Like Sam was trying to talk to Carly, and he kind of was
Mm-hmm.
breaking through to her. Was like you
Yeah.
said, he didn't agree with her methods, and it's like, well, you're fighting supremacists, but what are you doing? I'm not one of them. Well, you have more of the serum, right? What does that have to do with anything? Like you're building your army. Like, what do you think? You're doing the same shit that you hate, and that's typically what
Mm-hmm.
every villain does.
Yeah.
And
And he got her to kind of like realize that where she like said, I'll kill those people again, and she catches herself saying that like, wait, no, hold on, you tricked me into saying that. So he didn't put the words in your mouth.
nope. No, she tried to. I love how she tried to flip it. Like, you made me think these. It's like, no,
Yeah.
no, 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 no. You are doing
Mm-hmm.
it. I'm just helping you realize it. And that's been his job. Like,
Yeah.
why are you feeling this way? This is why. Like, let's examine what you're feeling.
Mm-hmm.
And then, yeah, Walker fucked that up because he was so just impatient.
Mm-hmm.
And that led to that whole fight. Oh my god! And then also, before we continue on, I'm definitely understanding Carly's stuff more and how, because that was the confusing part about the show. Like, who's been displaced? Is it the people that came back? And it's like, no, the people that were displaced just because we got more of a realization during the blip that the world came together because half that population was gone. So there were no
Yeah.
real borders. There was no real affiliations anymore. We all were
Yeah.
literally one Earth, one people.
Yeah.
And I could
Everybody in the world had this collective trauma to unite them.
And I totally get that. And like when people came back, everything just went back to the way things were. And it's like, that is actually, I kind of see why they're fighting now.
Yeah.
That's
And
pretty
that's why
fucked
I'm
up.
like, yeah, that's why I'm like, okay, I get it now.
Yeah.
I mean, I wish we could have seen it, like seen what the world was like, but I guess we're probably just gonna have to fill in the blanks for ourselves, unless this show decides to have like a flashback episode at some point, or maybe another Marvel property decides to maybe portray, or like the show or the movie or something of during that time. I mean, there's not going to be that visual context for us unless the show does or someone else does it. So at this point, we just kind of have to like fill in the blanks ourselves. So I mean, it is what it is, but at least paying lip service to it is more than what was happening before, where there was just nothing.
Yeah, exactly. But the one thing I did love about the Dora Milaje fight too, besides just like pinning him with the spear, is when he drops the shield and the other one just does exactly what Steve does, just kicks it up into his arm.
Mm-hmm.
And again, I actually really felt bad for Walker, where he is just like, they weren't even super soldiers. Like,
Yeah.
and that was just the total like mind blowing things. Like, I really am nothing right now. But I mean, that's not even true. Cause like, dude, you're a spec ops guy. You're just not equipped to do this. And it's not his fault. It's the government's fault. They're just kind of
Yeah.
putting him to do this. And it's like, this is totally out of his element. So, and I like that scene with Hoskins and him talking, like where he's kind of doubting himself, but Hoskins is just being there for him. Like, dude, like you're a 3-time Medal of Honor recipient. Like, you are a good guy. You're a good soldier. You've made the right decisions. And Walker just keeps doubting himself. He's like, I still don't see it.
Mm-hmm. And I like how he makes mention of, like, yeah, they gave me 3 medals to like essentially make me forget the worst day of my life.
Yeah.
It really goes into him, being a soldier, and I love that they're really rounding him out as a character where, he has been through, it seems like, very traumatic stuff, and he's been always like wanting to do just the right thing. But I mean, when you're a soldier, it's probably not always what you expect it to be. Like, they say it's the right thing, but the stuff that you had to do, like they were, they're alluding to, like the stuff they did in Afghanistan is like something he didn't really feel heroic about,
Yeah. I mean, it's kind of like, again, what Steve said in Winter Soldier. Actually, when Steve and Nick Fury were talking, he's like, Greatest Generation, like, you guys did a lot of nasty stuff back then. He's like, yeah, stuff that made us didn't sleep so good, but we did it for the right reasons. And Walker is kind of the opposite. Like, he's done things like for good reasons, but they've definitely haunted him more, and maybe stuff not even for great reasons either, like good and bad stuff, and it's just weighing down on him. um but yeah, like I said, I really love the writing behind him. I think they've definitely fleshed him out where he's definitely a villain. And everybody throwing shade at the real actor Wyatt Russell for being the character, like I guess that's been a legitimate thing where people are like bullying him online for it. It's like,
Oh my God.
like, go fuck off, man. That's all I gotta say is like, you guys are idiots, just idiots.
Yeah.
He's
Do
doing his
something better
job.
with your life.
Seriously, like he's doing a great job. Like I mean, Wyatt Russell, if you ever watch this, which if you do, that's super awesome. But keep doing what you do, man, because he's doing a great job. You are awesome. You know, much love to the Russell family. You know, just because your dad was Ego, so you gotta give love at Ego. But anyways, and then let's fast forward to the very end. I like how Zemo kind of ran out of there, like he went to the bathroom and slipped through the sewers. I guess that was
they would say he pulled an El Chapo.
Yeah, I thought that was really cool. But that last fight scene was crazy cool. Like just how, and then Carly just calling his sister, that was fucked up. I did not appreciate that at all. Like just how, well, I need to let him realize this is real, or else I'm gonna see you and your sons out by the water. It's like, oh, you bitch. I just that got my blood boiling a little bit. I was like, how dare you? Like, how do you call yourself a good person when you're basically threatening someone's family? Like very innocent people. Like, especially after he was trying to help him, even though she thought, well, he set me up. But still, damn you, Carly. I hate you. I hate you.
It's like you're crossing some lines, girl. Like, stop doing what you're doing. Like you're going too far, which is again like such like good writing where you're like, yeah, okay, I understand your motivations, but you're pushing things. It's like you're pushing things to where I can't get behind you.
Exactly. You know, and it's just, God damn it. Anyways, but that last fight scene was pretty crazy, just where they corner Carly. And all the flag smashers are cornering on him, and you know Falcon, you know Sam and Bucky are holding their own, kicking ass. But just what the fuck, that scene with Hoskins, man, like they did Hoskins dirty. That's all I gotta say. That was sad.
No, that was real messed up. He's dead, right? Like that's
Oh, I'm pretty sure he's dead. Yeah, because like how they have him hostage, and Walker's already pissed off about that, and you know Carly. She gets shot, like dropping the serum. Actually, when Walker took the serum from the first fight, we finally see him use it this time, and he's fucking dudes up like way more than Steve or any super soldier's done so far. And even Sam was like, "What did you do? Like, how did you get that stuff?" Just goddamn. And then when Carly just bam, just one punches Hoskins into the wall.
Yeah, to that like pillar where it sounds like he breaks his back or neck or something. I don't know, but the impact kills him from what I got. Like I don't think he's alive.
No, he's got to be dead. Yeah, and I think that was it. Just one punch, and you know, oh man, and then just Wyatt Russell, just like, or you know, Walker, just like, come on, like buddy, wake up, Lamar, like come on, like don't like say something. Just damn, his voice of reason's gone too. Which like, we totally see it. Just goes John Wick on the dude, essentially.
Yeah, he really like hunts that guy down, and you know he's saying like where's Carla, but you know he has no intentions of like he just wants to take his rage out on somebody, and he does in front of the world essentially with people recording.
And that was the most haunting shit. Just like he didn't give a fuck about anything. That was it, and it was Carly's best dude too, like her best friend, or like a guy who's been there for a while. Like they've been through a lot together, and just I don't know anything. Just nope, didn't care. Did the iconic, you know, cap with the shield, and just crushed him essentially. That was it was so creepy. And then him just kind of looking at everybody on their phones. Everybody's freaked out, and Carly's just horrified. Like she realized, like, oh fuck, like I just messed up, because she has no more superhero serum, so she has no more army, especially after this, probably, where Bucky and Sam were just demolishing everybody. And that last shot of him just kind of standing with the shield and blood on the bottom, just like, yeah, I did what I did, so what? Just ooh, gave me goosebumps, man.
Yeah, that is like an iconic image.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I think that's just like I said, where when I was referring to earlier, like Marvel going there, like Marvel went there with this scene where it's just like it was kind of it kind of acted like as like a wake up call to like the way I interpret it, just like the way that this show's been commenting, socially about like America and then like all these other things. It's like this is kind of like the reality of what it
Mm-hmm.
is. This is not the ideals of like what Steve Rogers Cap was. Where if you really think about it, for two out of the three movies that we saw him in, he wasn't the captain for America. Like he was
Nope.
always in opposition to the government. Like it's
Mm-hmm.
Shield or whatever you want to call it. This the who was it that passed the Sokovia Accords was NATO. I don't remember like too
Yeah, it
well
was essentially
exactly.
because there was the Global Council from Winter Soldier, the I forgot who the other like Shield and stuff and Avengers. But yeah, it essentially was like
Hmm.
NATO in the UK. Like basically
Yeah,
just all the governments, like,
yeah. So Cap is well, Steve has always been motivated just by what he like, what's good. Like it didn't matter if it was the American government that was saying these things or telling him to do these things. He wasn't afraid to stand up for what he thought was right. And that was
Mhm.
like, that's sort of like represents the ideal of the most idealized versions of what you want America to be. And now with Walker, we're kind of getting a little bit more of just like the mirror version. Like this is reality. Like this is what it looks
Mhm.
like. Like
Yeah.
it's not pretty. It's actually pretty disturbing. And I thought
Um,
that was so, like I said, Marvel went there.
dude, when you see all those crowds' faces, they did all the the background actors. What am I calling them? What's
Extras.
extras? Yeah, they all did a great job in that, just portraying that horrified look. Like we just saw Captain America kill somebody. Like
Hmm.
you kind of know he did in World War II, and maybe he's done stuff, in the movies, but so you don't really see it. This time, everybody front up close and personal, and again, just that image of him just looking like not phased at all, just the shield all bloody. Like this is like easily the most violent like stuff we've ever seen in anything Marvel, and I'm really digging it. Like,
Yeah, this is almost borderline Netflix Marvel stuff where
yeah, like Punisher
it's
status.
like, yeah, or like Kingpin smashing a dude's head with a door. It's like I'm really surprised that on something on Disney Plus is going there.
Yeah, this show is definitely starting to become not something for kids. I
No, and
don't know if
that's
I'd
the
want
that's
my
the
kid
thing.
watching this.
Yeah, I'm seeing this. I'm like, what are like kids who have been watching the Avengers movies gonna think? But then that was also kind of something I thought too when the Winter Soldier came out. We saw the violence in that movie. I was like, oh, okay, well, this is a little bit more intense. Like I'm surprised that Marvel's allowing themselves to get there. In terms of how visceral the action is.
I mean, I saw Scream at the age of like 4 or 5, so there's that, and saw 300 at like 12 or 13. So I'm sure kids are watching worse stuff now, but not my children when I have them.
I don't mean those kids. I mean like like the kids that actually have like parents that make
No,
sure
I know.
to manage what they watch, not like yours and
Oh
mine.
my
Although
god.
it's like, hey, maybe I probably shouldn't have been watching The
My
Matrix
parents are
as young as I
saints.
did.
Don't you dare say that. Your
Oh, they're the
parents,
best.
I love your parents. So how dare you disparage them? Have some respect.
Don't get me wrong. I ain't mad at them. Okay, I'm glad I got to see all those things at an age where I probably shouldn't have seen them.
That's why we rebel. But
Fight the power.
also real quick before we finish up, how about that part where basically do like a Tai Chi move, like AO does a little move on Bucky's arm, just like
Oh yeah,
falls
like
off, just like
deactivates
what
it.
the fuck was that? And even Sam's like, did you know she could do that? Nope. Like just it's and now he's kind of feeling a little like betrayed by Wakanda, but at the same time, it's like, I mean, they did save you from yourself, so you kind of owe them that. And I just thought it was really cool seeing like a Black Panther, like Wakandan technology in it. Like we got to see a little more up close and personal with it. So
Yeah.
I thought that was really neat. But anything else that stood out to you, Bern, in this episode? Anything we're missing, or do you think we covered all the bases?
I mean, I think I can't think of anything. Hopefully we didn't miss something like we did with Io last episode. I hope I'm not leaving anything out. But no, I mean this episode seemed like it was pretty straightforward. Like there was a lot of downtime in this episode, and I thought it did a really good job of giving us time with characters that we hadn't gotten before. Especially with the Carly and the Flag Smashers. So we got to get a little bit more of their motivations and see what they're doing. So those scenes, I really appreciate that they did that. And I'm glad that we got to see more of Sam, doing his thing, and surprised that he actually got to suit up again. I kind of forgot how long it's been. I think it's probably been since the second episode since we saw him with his wings, in action and stuff. So.
Oh my God, yeah, because they were in Madripoor. He didn't have anything. So to think what one episode has done to us.
But yeah, man, so it's solid writing. I really have I really don't have anything negative to say about this episode because I thought it did a really good job, and that's why I gave it a 5 out of 5. So I'm really excited to see the next ones.
Yeah, I feel like there was something still missing for me. I can't quite put my finger on it, but again, it's just we're getting there. It's vastly improving. I just felt like it was a much better improvement even since the last episode. The last episode was pretty great. So
and definitely I think this is what the show should have been like this whole time. Just so I'm glad that the show's really going into the more morally gray side of Marvel. Showing people's different people's motivations and how sometimes even with the best intentions, we can do the wrong thing still. And I like that with all of these characters, they're showing a little bit of it. I like to describe this show as like a pool of gray, because everyone has their issues and everyone's not perfect and everyone's struggling against their own inner demons. And again, just the social commentary. I really dig it. I'm a big, fan of deconstruction and all that stuff. So I like kind of overanalyzing things if that didn't come across already.
Instead of building the Legos, you like to take them apart to examine them. That's essentially what you're saying. Yeah.
I like to get the sets pre-built.
All right, man. But yeah, I got nothing else. This was a great episode. We got 2 more left, so a couple more weeks and that'll be it. And then, Invincible will be another thing we'll have to talk about later. But
oh yeah.
By the way, great stuff so far, Bern. Great job on you. You have such a beautiful voice. I love it. I can't get enough of it, Bern. I wish I could listen to you while I sleep. I don't know if that's weird, but
I guess I'll just do some recordings on those nightly podcasts. Just talking about random things.
You should do the voice like in Booksmart, where it's just like, to all those people that doubt you, fuck them. And their fucking faces. Just me waking up, just. Yes.
That's the motivational, podcast that Walker should have been listening to.
Oh my God, yeah. Just so he can avoid this madness.
But... yeah, maybe when the caved man's chest in with one of the most iconic images of Marvel, Maybe don't desecrate that symbol, buddy.
I mean, it kind of is now at this point, but we'll have to see how desecrated it is next week. So everybody, if you stuck around, let us know your favorite moments in this. Anything, you want explained more with us, something to clear up. Or anything we miss, we love to get to know that, realize that stuff. So, give us a like, share, comment, all that good stuff, and stay bodacious, keep on ranting, and just stay beautiful. That's all I gotta say.
Exactly. Be safe, be good, and don't hit anybody with a shield. Don't do that.
And don't bully anybody online. That's just mean. We don't need that. Do that either.
Like Captain America said, he doesn't like bullies. The real Captain America.
Yeah, it's not Walker. Walker's a douche, but God love him. Bless his heart. All right, dude. I'll talk to you later, my brother.
All right, man. See you on the next one.
Deuces.